First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Rakakudash. Yahweh is to this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is to this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashim means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Qudash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. Also, want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. In today's video, I wanted to go into how these women are out of order. Okay? Every single one of them, they are out of order because they have bit of that fruit. Okay? They have bit of the fruit. Okay? They have followed the ways of the serpent, and the ways of the serpent is wickedness. Right? Going against what the Most High has told you women to do. Going against his commandments. And we live in a society where that's perpetuated. That's what's pushed. Okay, these women are literally incentivized to be whores. Okay, to not have a man and not depend on a man and do everything themselves. And the thing about that is it's an illusion, right? It looks nice, it looks, pretty, but once they finally have it, they realize that it was just that it was an illusion. It wasn't real. And we're seeing how more and more women are realizing that they fell for the okie doke. They're chasing, the carrot on the stick. And that's why you have, you have a giant theme of women on TikTok talking about how, yeah, I should have done right when I was younger. All this independent boss bitch, it means nothing and I want to have a family. But they're at the point where, no rational male wants to deal with them. 35, 40 years old, 3 children, you know. Why would a man want to deal with that when he could find a younger woman that her mind is more instructable? And let's go to the scriptures, before I start rambling too long. What does this all go back to? Psalms chapter 82 and verse 5, it says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course." Right, so everything is backwards because the wicked are in authority. Okay, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the wicked are ruling. Okay, these Edomites, these heathens. Okay, and the heathens, they don't follow the ways of the Most High. Right, they follow whatever they want to do. So we're seeing that how in the main capital of the world, America, is the worst of the worst. Okay, men saying that they're women, women saying that they're men. That's why it says in Revelation, the 11th chapter, that this place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So we're seeing it, man. We're seeing it, and a big thing is the woman. That's a big stumbling block, because every single Israelite brother out there, wants to have a righteous woman, wants to have, a woman that listens to him, a woman that is in order. But the reality is that we're not in the kingdom. Okay, we're not gonna get that on this side, and you're either gonna learn that the hard way or the easy way. But the thing is, if you have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you will learn that and you will experience it. And you will experience how everything that is written in this book is real. Okay? How we're still under the curses and you can't escape them. So let's read one of the curses in Amos chapter 7 verse 17. It says, "Therefore thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land." And all that happened. Okay? The Israelite woman today is a complete hoe. Okay? They think that, sleeping with 4 or 5 men is a low body count when they shouldn't even have, more than one. Okay? A max, 2 if her husband dies. You know what I'm saying? But, the guys nowadays will say, oh, she got, 6 body count, that's low. Because there's women out here with 50, 100, 200. And they don't see a problem with it. But where does it go back to? It's a curse. How your wife was going to be out here sleeping with you, and when you least expect it, she'll go sleep with another man. So let's get this in Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And that's what we're seeing, is how people that think that this shit is okay, they think that it's normal, but it's really not. And there's a saying that the truth sounds stranger than fiction. Okay, the truth sounds stranger, or the truth sounds crazy in a world full of lies. So we're telling these people what it is, what the Most High is about to do, the way they should act. But they look at us like we're crazy because that's all they've ever known. And the reason I'm even making this video is to put you in the proper mindset of what is going on. Okay, remember that this is a fight, that we're still in captivity. Okay, we're not in the kingdom. We're still in captivity. And everything is going to be upside down. In every single situation, everything is going to be upside down. So let's go into a couple scriptures going into how the woman is supposed to be instructed, and verses that they don't read in the church because the church is ultimately made to extract money from you people. Okay, and they do that very well in all these mega churches with the pastor dancing and laughing and swinging on a string. They're extracting from you, and those are the false pastors that the scriptures talk about. So they never read this because the main people that give money are women. But 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11, it says, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." And that is something that the modern day woman has a problem with. They have a problem taking orders because they don't look at you as the superior. Right, here it is when it comes to their work, their job, they'll take orders from their boss 24/7 because they understand that that is their superior, in the workplace. But when it comes to the Israelite man, okay, your woman doesn't look at you as the superior, okay, because of the curses, because of the feminization and Americanization, okay, this wickedness that is being pushed. She'd rather worship Esau, than Jade. But that's something that you gotta accept, man. And the faster you accept it, the faster you come into reality. It is the truth. So, suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Hey, majority of these women can't do that. Hey, Romans chapter 7 and verse 2. This is another one that they don't follow. For the woman which hath the... Oh, I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband." Right? So, all you women that think that, you could just leave a man and do whatever you want to do, you're still bound to that man. And a lot of people don't, pretty much like, let's say when you first wake up to the word, whatever man you get with after that point, hey, you're not supposed to leave him. And that's just, it is what it is. It doesn't matter if he beats you, it doesn't matter if he mistreats you, you're not supposed to leave him. And that's where these women get emotional. Okay? That's where they get emotional and they really get tested. But hey, you can't act on your emotions and when it comes to the Most High. Okay, you got to do what it tells you to do, and just pray to the Most High in every single situation. But hey, like the scriptures say, Solomon said it best. How, among 1,000 men, he found one righteous. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 28. We'll get it with this. It says, "Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found." Right? So going into wise. Out of 1,000 men, he found one wise man, one righteous man. But out of women, he found none. Okay? He found none. Because the woman is the weaker vessel. The woman is supposed to be led. And we live in a society where they're told by the devil himself to not be led, to lead themselves, and you can see where that has gotten them. They're walking in circles miserable. But this is why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, it has to come back, because he has to set everything in order, everything at all. And it will only change when he comes back. So that's why at the end of the day, the scriptures talk about how, as long as you live, power over thee. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 19, it says, "Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any. For better it is that thy children should seek to thee, that thou shouldest stand to their courtesy. In all thy works keep to thyself the preeminence, and leave not a stain in thine honor. Right, so don't give these people power over you, because everybody, okay, this world and everybody will let you down. Okay, don't give this world power over you. Don't give these women power over you. Maintain true to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will take care of you in every single aspect. And something that I always hear the brother from Chicago talk about is he talks about how whenever he feels, down or sad that a woman left him, he always asks himself, am I a wicked man? And obviously the answer is no, I serve the Lord. Then that means that, hey, the Lord delivered me from that woman. Okay, because it says that a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, and a righteous woman is given as a portion to a righteous man. Right, so if she leaves you, guess what? If she leaves you and you're righteous, guess what? She was not meant for you, okay? She is wicked, and the Lord has judged her and marked her. And that's just the case. Because we live in a society where these women think that they're above their man. But hey, listen to this. The churlishness of a man is better. Let's get that in Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 and verse 14. It says, better is the churlishness of a man than a courteous woman. A woman, I say, which bringeth shame and reproach. Right? So, better is the churlishness. Okay, what's that word? Churlishness is the quality of being rude, surly, and unpleasant, characterized by a lack of civility, grumpiness, and unfriendliness, often stemming from a stubborn or ill-tempered disposition, and can also describe something rough or difficult to deal with. Right? So somebody that's rude, bad-tempered, that isn't gracious, right? And, a person like that, a man like that is better than a courteous woman, okay? A woman that is polite, respectful, well-mannered, considerate. So that shows you the separation. And like the brother said, are you a wicked man? No, then the Lord deliver you. And let's actually read this in the Good News translation. It says, a man's wickedness is better than a woman's goodness. Woman brings shame and disgrace. So that puts it clearly. So hopefully this was insightful and brought you in the right, proper mindset again. But with that, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Mills to that time of this truth. Shalom to elect. Shalom.